this is Josh Black reporting from the Federalist North Convention. I have Professor David Bernstein and George Mason. How's it going, David?
Good, Josh. Always good to see a George Mason alum.
He was one of my favorite professors at Mason's. Now I get to talk to him instead of the other way around. So, how are you enjoying the convention so far?
Great. Good to see a lot of old friends, a lot of interesting panels.
Do you remember what your favorite panel is?
I do. Funny you should ask. Panel yesterday on Federalism with Professor Soman and Hills and Dean Eastman, thank you, of Chapman. Great panel.
Very good. Now I understand you have a book about Lochner coming out. Tell us a little about that.
That's true. I've just sent it out to the publisher. It probably will take a while because that's how university presses are. It's called Rehabilitating Lochner. And basically, it's going to show that probably everything you think you know about Lochner is wrong.
For example?
For example, Lochner was not an example of substantive due process because the phrase didn't even exist then. No one thought about it in those terms. Lochner, the concept of due process clause and a substantive meaning goes way back, well beyond Lochner or even Dred Scott, and a lot of modern 14th Amendment jurisprudence probably has as much influence from Lochner as from Lochner's opponents, if not more.
Now, both in Justice Thomas's opinion in Science Rose and in Judge O'Scallion's opinion in Lord Like v. King, they said that privilege and immunities clause perhaps displaced a lot of the wayward substantive due process jurisprudence. There's a lot of McDonald coming up in the Second Amendment Corporation case. Do you see PRI actually playing into that?
Well, I think Justice Thomas and maybe some of the other conservative justices would like to move from due process to PRI. I'm not completely convinced that privilege or immunities has more to say about the substance of individual rights inherently in due process, or perhaps they're just complementary. But of course, you know, the problem is that PRI clause only applies to citizens, and due process clause applies to persons. So that's going to create a little bit of cognitive dissonance, I think.
Have you seen Bruce Ackerman's new theory of, quote, citizenship as a practice, where if you pay taxes and engage in civic society, you're, quote, a citizen for purpose of citizenship? That's the new Constitution 2020 mem of how to get around that one.
Yeah, that sounds dubious to me, but without actually having read it, I'm not going to disparage it yet.
Ackerman and dubious. Very good. Professor Bernstein, thanks a lot.
Thank you.